Thanks, Doug. I can't say anything at all until I say thank you for praying for me. I know many of you have, and I wouldn't be standing here tonight apart from those prayers. Lord's given me strength to do a few things here, and in response to the Lord's people's praying. And thank you for the opportunity to talk to you. I've stood at this very spot or the general location and have said the words that when we speak, we should speak as a dying man to dying men, because of the urgency of our message, and those words have a peculiar new meaning to me tonight. Seeing Dan and the video was awesome. I spent 20 minutes with him last week and sat beside him and listened. We didn't have to talk a whole lot. It's kind of like, yeah, I know. And the Lord has given both of us a double measure of His grace and kindness. And I'm here tonight to share a little bit of what the Lord has given to me. There's a Puritan prayer that goes something like this. Lord, high and holy, meek and lowly, Thou hast brought me to the valley of vision, where I live in the depths, but I see Thee in the heights. Hemmed in by the mountains of sin, I behold Thy glory, valley of vision. Lord, in the daytime, stars can be seen from the deepest wells. And the deeper the well, the brighter the stars can be seen. Let me find Thy light in my darkness, Thy glory in my valley. Start out with a little pain in my back just a few months ago. We've all had them every once in a while, and they go away after 2 or 3 days. This one lingered on, and I kept complaining to Steve over here, one of my co-workers, and back pain. They got tired of hearing about it. Go to the doctor, and finally got so bad I went to Mercy Medical Center, and they did about $7,000 worth of tests and said I had back pain, and shot me full of lidocaine and sent me home with some pain pills. About a week later, I went to my regular doctor, and they did a blood test, and Julie Winter called me on the phone and said, we have a PSA number here that's pretty high. 4 and above is not good. Mine was over the moon at 77. And so they rushed me to the urologist, did a digital exam, and we probably have wondered at times what it sounds like to hear those words, that you have a disease that there's no cure for. He looked me in the eye and said, it looks like you have an aggressive form of prostate cancer that's metastasized into your bones, and unless the tests prove otherwise, that's what my diagnosis is, and we'll start treatment today. The test didn't prove otherwise. The bone scan showed that I have abnormalities throughout my body, shoulders and chest, and bones and joints, hot spots. The biopsy was not good, and I'm hesitant to go where I'm going to go right now, but it may help motivate some of you to get your PSA test that your wives have been telling you to get, because you don't want the biopsy. Some people say it's not that bad. I didn't enjoy it at all. They basically, well, we're all men here, so basically I'm into photography, but there's some places that You probably shouldn't be taking pictures, but they do. And they not only take pictures, but they follow it up with well, the best way I can describe it is a nail gun. And they get it lined up, and they actually say fire, and it goes cha-chunk, and a big needle comes out and grabs a chunk of flesh and grabs it back. They do it 12 times. And it's a lot easier to go get the one little blood test, believe me. And all 12 samples were positive for cancer, and they rate them on a scale from 1 to 10 with the Gleason score, and 1 being not very good, 4 or 5 being worse, and 9 and 10 being terrible, and 6 of mine were 10, and 5 were 9, and 1 was 8. I've learned a couple things, and in the park I shared the first thing that probably is foremost these last 3 months. And Doug came over to the house the other day, and I know one person heard it because he quoted it exactly. The first thing I've learned is that the sovereign God of the universe, who controls every molecule in the universe, including the cells in my body, is good. He is not only good, he is very, very good. The Gospels sum up the ministry of the Lord Jesus in one sentence. It said he went about doing good. And his Father does the same for us. I could focus on the cancer and look at that and get all depressed, but I've chosen to pull back by the Lord's grace, and I've looked at a little bigger picture, and as you pull back the microscope and get a little wider view, I've had 58 years of wonderful life. The lines have fallen to me in pleasant places. I've been in the United States of America, living in the top 3% of the world population for comfort, and probably the top 2% in world history as far as comfort and ease. The Lord is good. He's given me a wife that stood by me, and for 38 years, 2 months, and 16 days. He's given me 3 wonderful, wonderful children. Twin daughters who are the pride and joy of my life. A wonderful son who is sitting in the back, who I know they're better, maybe better sons in the world, but I don't know of any. And there might be more kind people in the world. I don't know of anybody more kind, and he's my son. I've had an opportunity to share my faith these last 3 months with dozens and dozens and dozens of people. I had a chance to look people in the eye and tell them why I'm not afraid to face death. They say, well, LeRoy, you're a good guy. No, there was only one good person. And I'm a sinner, and I feel like the chief of sinners. But the Lord Jesus has stood in my place and has taken the penalty, taken the wrath of a holy God in my stead, and allowed me to have peace with God, which has led to an awesome peace of God. Not only a chance to share the gospel with lots of people, the opportunities like this are just talking to believers one-on-one, and then with the shortage of time that I have, be able to talk to a lot of men at one time is just a blessing to me. I had a man